Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
Ooni Of Ifes allegedly made a sacred vow to Queen Naomi's father and the uncle. And, it was such a relief that the uncle, agreed to make, that visit possible. Now, let me explain to you guys, Daylight, what this is. Queen Naomi has an uncle who happens to be a pastor. He is in Australia. He owns one of the biggest churches in Australia. And, Queen Naomi comes from a Christian background. So what that means is that the mother, the father, even though the father has not been in the picture, but the man is born again. As a matter of fact, they were all together. They were doing things when Queen Naomi, they were younger. But, this normal situation with man and woman happened. And, of course, that's not something I want to bring here. But they went their separate ways. But that's not to say the man is not there. The man is there. The man is living right there in Accurate. But when this whole thing happened, that got Queen Naomi incarcerated, the father had to get up. The man had to do something because he didn't want the daughter to go down the drain. The man had to do something. And besides, the man and Queen Naomi, they've always had a relationship, an amazing relationship. This father-daughter relationship, they've always had it. And they said that when Naomi went to the father and told the father that she was going to get married to the Ooni Of Ifes, the father was wholly against it. The reason happens to be that the man is an elderly man and he understands the dynamics of royalty in the Yoruba land. And he knows the daughter, Naomi, is a very meek human being. Naomi is very soft, okay? And the man is aware that Naomi may not be able to deal with it. But at that point, you know that Naomi was head over heels in love with the husband. They were head over heels in love with each other. And so who would want to say no? And she went ahead and she said yes. And she was even naive. At the time, Kabiyesi had told her that, look, I am a one-man-woman thing. But the father knew that that might not stand. You know that the man, Kabiyesi was made a king in 2015. Olori Naomi and the Ooni Of Ifes got married in 2018. That was just 3 years down the line, okay? And so, now the father knew. So at 2017 ending, towards the end of 2017 was when Queen Naomi had gone to tell the father that she was going to get married to the Ooni Of Ifes. And the father was against it because the father knew that that might not work. The fact that Kabiyesi is still doing one man thing may not be for long anymore. And Naomi does not have the capacity of holding on to something like that. And that was why the father disagreed. And then the mother said, who are you to speak? After I've been raising these children, you've not come to give me a hand like that. Is it now that you think your decision matters and all of that? But that's not what we are talking about. But in all of this whole thing, Naomi has got an uncle. This uncle is, I think, the younger brother to Queen Naomi's father. Naomi has always been very close to that man. The man has always been the one who insisted that Naomi should go to school. Naomi started a university then in Akure and left that university to go and do the work of God, okay? During that time out, this man was very unhappy. The reason happens to be that he felt like Naomi is very brilliant. Why would Naomi complete her education? That even if you want to do the work of God, complete your education and there you go ahead and do the work of God. But this is not something we are talking about right now. Now, what I was trying to establish is to let you know that Naomi's got an amazing relationship with that man. The father has got an amazing relationship with that man. And, it's a relationship that is not born out of who Naomi is right now. It's born out of the love that Australian pastor has got for Olori Naomi. So, remember, he did a lot and he fought so hard to ensure that Naomi does not return back to that marriage. And that did not work. With everything that went back and forth, the man left because when the man left Australia and came to Nigeria, came to Nigeria to ensure that, Kabiyesi will give Naomi that divorce. The man did everything, they dragged everything and all of that. And Kabiyesi said, I'm not giving her a divorce. I love her. She is my wife. I'm not letting her go. And so eventually, things went back and forth, and at the end of the day, when this whole reconciliation thing started and all, the man went back to Australia, the man was very upset and all of that. And that happens to be one thing that has affected Olori Naomi so much because of the relationship that she has got with that pastor. And they said that from the time that the man left and went back to Australia, the man was unhappy that Naomi was planning on returning back to KBSC. And then later, the father, when this whole thing happened with the arrest in Ibadan, the man was mad that he has spoken to Olori Naomi to leave KBSC alone, and so Naomi can face her life, and that him pissed the man off completely. So after this whole new moon thing, the reconciliation thing and all of that, one of the things that have really bothered Olori Naomi so greatly is her relationship with her uncle. Just the fact that she's no longer in that place with her uncle again is something that has not been okay for her. She has been feeling so bad, and that is something that has bothered the Ooni of Ife also a great deal, because this is a man who wants his wife to be okay. So they have invited this uncle to come at time and time again, and he has refused to come. Just to come and have a word with the Ooni of Ife, he has refused to come. They said, was it before the full moon ritual, Olori Naomi cried on the phone, begged the uncle to come, to please come and be a part of her restoration and all of that. The man refused to come. And then eventually he decided to come. Now, they said he visited the palace with with Queen Naomi's father, and spoke to the Ooni of Ife, this time on a very not that angry mood again and all of that, and that Ooni of Ife gave his commitment again that he will take care of Naomi. He will never allow what happened to Olori Naomi to happen to her again. Naomi will never have to go through this kind of humiliation, this kind of struggle, this kind of crisis that Naomi has suffered so much for him. And that happens to be the reason why he is also doing everything that is within his power to ensure that he keeps Naomi in a good place, he keeps Naomi well protected, and keep their son well protected. That most of the choices that he is making right now in the palace, he's making those choices all because of Olori Naomi, because he wants Naomi to stay protected. The reason happens to be that he knows that Naomi has gone through so much, and if he had been there for Olori Naomi the way he ought to have been there as a husband to Olori Naomi, that Naomi would never have suffered, those blows that she suffered the entire time. And they said that was will be one of those times that the uncle, nearly, even though for a very long time the uncle has not been in agreement with Olori Naomi returning back into the palace, but after hearing the Ooni of Ife spoke, lately the man had this reassurance that maybe, just maybe, this time Naomi is going to be okay. And they had a prayer and all of that. That was it. So, and he blessed them again. Okay. So this is what is going on as we are hearing. If the information is correct, I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.